there's one growth hack that absolutely outperforms everything else when it comes to B2B, and I'm going to reveal what it is today. Now, you probably don't want to hear what it is, but I'm going to tell you. And before you click off the video, stick with me, okay? Because the biggest growth hack you can have in B2B is consistency, okay? Now, again, like I said, before you click off the video, let me just explain, okay? This is not what you want to hear, because I know that you want to hear some silver bullet, okay? You want to hear some new shiny object. You want to hear some strategy. You want to hear some hack, okay? You want to hear something that's going to fix all your problems in regards to lead generation, pipeline progression overnight, okay? It's just not going to happen. If you want to be realistic about it, let's be realistic about it and see how we can actually solve the problem, okay? Because again, as I said, all the things that you're avoiding here, okay? So let's say that this bubble it's protected, okay? You can't get into here. The reason you can't get into here and get the results that you want is because, as I said, you're looking for silver bullets, and pretty much all these things actually mean the exact same thing. So it doesn't matter whether it's silver bullets, whether it is, hacks, like I said, whether it is new trends, whatever it might be. So again, oh, I saw that you can now do this on this platform or whatever it might be, and all these new things that you follow. Again, you're not getting into here and getting the results that you want because you keep going through here, because you find the new silver bullet, the new hack, the new whatever it might be, and you go, oh, well, that could work, let's do that, okay? Inevitably, and if you're watching this video, I know you've been through this, okay? You find the new hack, the silver bullet that's going to fix all your problems, and it doesn't, okay? And instead of just going back here, because this is boring, none of us want to do the boring work, okay? We constantly need to be stimulated in this day and age, okay? With all these different things that we have, all these either processed foods, or it's stuff that we see online, or just constant things going on, okay? So you essentially get into a loop where you go, oh, brilliant, we found the silver bullet. Nope, didn't work, okay? And then you go, well, what can we do now? Oh, there's a new thing. Nope, didn't work. Oh, there's another new thing. Didn't work, okay? So this is essentially just let's say a graph of your excitement, expectations, okay? But it just leads you down at the bottom every single time, okay? So realistically, there's no growth there, okay? Now it's the same again when you find a trend. Ooh, this is a new trend that we could do. Same thing, okay? It doesn't actually make a difference. You're avoiding this, and you know that you're avoiding this because this is boring as hell, okay? And I understand that. I understand it's boring as hell, but this is the only way that you'll be able to actually do something in regards to putting together either your own hacks or trends or silver bullets. You have to create this, okay? Now look, don't get me wrong, you don't have to create a whole new trend yourself. You don't have to come up with the latest and greatest growth hack, whatever it might be. You can do what's already out there that you know works. But the reason that most of us don't do it is because we want it overnight. We don't want to put in the work. We don't want to do the boring work, and we don't want to be consistent about it, okay? So if we were to flip this around, let's say we weren't using silver bullets, and again, we're not just on this constant up and down loop or a roller coaster, whatever you want to call it, okay? And we've taken away all these magic things that we're looking for that's going to fix our problems overnight. Why don't we just start with one thing and we be consistent with it, okay? Because I can guarantee to you what's going to happen over time is that you're going to go, okay, fine, let's sit down, let's do the boring work. And you don't go from here to here and back down again. But what realistically is going to happen, and let me just take that off the board again. But what's realistically going to happen if you're consistent is you go from here to 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 here. And it goes up. And yes, there's little dips over time. And yes, I made a video about that before. You can check that out. But over time, what happens is that the graph is going in the way that we want it to go. It's up and to the right, okay? That's the only way. And I've been doing this for 20 years, okay? That's the only way that you're going to get the kind of growth and to be able to scale the way that you want, okay? If you're constantly searching for the new things, it's not going to work. I can absolutely 100% tell you that from experience and from helping loads of other B2B companies. I suppose you could say figure this out, okay? And just be consistent. The companies that we've helped just be consistent doing the boring work, okay? they have scaled way beyond what their expectations were when they first started working with us, okay? Because again, consistency, if you stick with it over time, it gets better and better, okay? Because not only do you have this graph down, or a graph up here, but let's say that now the new starting point is, so let's say this was, again, absolutely hypothetical numbers here, okay? But let's say that you were doing 1 million a year, okay? And this is, let's just call this 3 million, okay? So again, being consistent, now we're at the 3 million mark, okay, which is our new bottom, new floor, whatever you want to call it, okay? Again, and that consistency, just tiny little bumps every now and then, tiny little bumps up and down every now and then, okay? So this could be, again, let's assume the same growth here. Let's say that we go from 1 mil to 3 mil, and then we go from 3 mil to, let's say, 5 mil, okay? That can only happen with consistency of boring work, doing the same thing over and over again, of what works, what's worked for years and years and years, okay? Now, don't get me wrong, yes, there is new things that come into play, such as AI and all this sort of stuff, okay? But again, people are looking for the solution with AI. Here's actually a perfect example. A lot of people assume that AI is going to fix the problems. Here's one that, for a very long time, we just couldn't understand why people thought this way. But a lot of people were using AI for, let's say, content, okay? Now, that's either to write blogs for them or to write content on their website or whatever it might be, okay? A lot of people are using AI for content and still are, okay? Don't get me wrong. But I think that the vast majority of people who've used AI for content have very quickly found out, or at least they should have by this stage, that AI is not the silver bullet going to fix all your problems. You can't just go to the likes of ChatGPT or Gemini, whatever it may be, and say, write me a 1,000 or 2,000 word article on this particular topic, okay? It's not great. It's not SEO optimized. You still have to have a human involved to do a lot of the work in the background, the boring work. That is the only way this is going to work. Because if you're trying to just, again, use the silver bullet for AI for content, your graph doesn't look like this. Your graph, again, goes, yay, look what we found. Oh, it doesn't work. Oh, let's try it again. It doesn't work, okay? Oh, but what if we do this? No, it doesn't work, okay? You have to still do the boring work, okay? And again, I know this isn't the nicest video in the world. This is because it's not giving you what you want to hear, but I'm absolutely telling you this is what you need to hear, okay? Because there is absolutely no way that you'll be able to scale successfully by finding some magic silver bullet, some magic hack, some fixes your problems overnight, 24-hour fix kind of thing. Doesn't exist, okay? And the quicker that you get that into your head, and the quicker you realize, well, if I just sit down and do the boring work again and again and again, that's how we actually scale to where we want to get to, okay? Now again, as I said, I know this wasn't the most helpful video in the world, but if you do want a bit of further advice on how you can do this with some automation in place as well, so that the boring work actually, as at some point in time, does get taken away from you, then you can check out the first link in the description as well. There's loads of different ways in there that you can actually make this even better than what the graph already is. But again, it's just, you don't have to check it out. It's completely up to you, 100%. But if you just take one thing from this video, consistency of the boring work, day in, day out, that's the only way that you're going to scale. Stop right now looking for hacks, silver bullets, all these ads that you might come across that say, we've made this magic thing that fixes all your problems overnight. No, that's not realistic, okay? Well, I'm personally yet to find one anyway, okay? But again, if you take one thing, it's consistency of the boring work, especially in the B2B world, okay? So hopefully you got some value from that, and we'll see you in the next one.